first time posting on Reddit, so please forgive me if I don't get the format right. Okay, to start, in my culture we avoid saying ghosts, especially that particular ghost names. For example, in Western culture, there's Banshee, Woman in the White, Pokemon, and stuff like that. In my culture, I'm Mosian, something like that. We have ghosts like Pontiac, Bakong, Toyo. So, a lot of these I can't pronounce, so I'm sorry. Lancaster, among others, saying their names out loud is said to summon them. I love ghost stories, but not the Western kind. I love Asian ghost stories, perhaps because that's what I grew up with. I find them spookier than Western ghosts. Due to language barrier, this is not a lot of years ago. I started a YouTube channel where I read ghost stories that are mainly from Southeast Asia. I would record my voice reading the stories at home, of course, since I was living with another girl at the time. She also happened to be my colleague. We were working at a customer service call center that operates 24 hours. Our shift rotates weekly. Sorry, I'm gonna move this here. Our 2-bedroom apartment was really small, that there was barely any privacy when it comes to noises, so I would usually only record when my roommate was out. I didn't want to bother her with my voice, and I would prefer not to have the sounds from her going about her life in my recording. One time my roommate was working the overnight shift. She left around 8 o'clock in the evening, and I just got home from work 2 hours prior, so I decided to record my second video about half an hour after my roommate left to work. I started recording in my bedroom. I think it was a little bit more than halfway through the second story. I heard something entering the apartment, which was weird since her shift should at least take about 8.5 hours. I thought she came home early, it would be more likely that she is not feeling well. So I went to check on her. When I went to look for her, she was nowhere to be found. That's creepy. I already lost my place. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay, the only logical explanation was the sound was from the next door unit, so I went back to recording. Not more than 15 minutes later, I heard a sound of a chair pulling out from under the dining room table and followed by water running. Our shower room. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I cannot read today. Our shower room just seconds later. Confident I was home alone, I went to check it. My bedroom door was facing directly to the shower room door. As soon as I opened my bedroom door, I had a clear view of the open shower door, revealing a dark shower room. At this point, I was getting nervous. My thoughts were all over the place. I froze for a bit before deciding to look into the shower. The sound of running water can still be heard. When I flicked the shower room light switch on, the shower was running, but there was no one in there. That is my fear right now. Like, anywhere I go, like if I'm staying anywhere, like that is my fear, is the shower running and nobody's there. I turned off the shower and went looking for my roommate again. Maybe I missed her the first time, but still found nobody in my apartment. I'm going to pause for a second. Give me 1 second, because I accidentally flipped the page. Let me see if I can find it. I need to text real quick. Give me a second. Okay, sorry. Okay, a little nervous, but I was determined to continue recording. I wanted to be a YouTuber and hoping one day I could quit my job and tell ghost stories full-time. So I did. I finished recording the stories and went straight into editing around 1 a.m. I needed a toilet break. as you can see in the diagram, attached the toilet was separate from the kitchen, from the shower. Sorry, was separate from the shower and can only be accessed through the kitchen. After I done my business, while I was passing through the kitchen, I could hear a giggling from the living room. That stopped me on my tracks. I had a clear view of the well-lit living room. There was obviously no one there. At one point, I knew I was not alone. I ran into my bedroom and locked the door behind me. I hid under my covers, and that's when I heard something tried to open my bedroom door. It went on for what felt like forever. I fell asleep, and for some reason I finished editing my story, posted it a few days later. Everything quieted down for a little so I decided to record another story. This time I was recording during the daytime. It was my off day and my housemate was out shopping or something. Everything went smoothly. So smoothly that I was able to post the video by the time my housemate came home. That night we decided to watch a movie together. Before we started the movie, I went into the kitchen to make myself some snacks while my roommate picked a movie. Our TV is positioned on the same wall that divided the living room and my bedroom and the sofa right across from it, so you can see the kitchen door and shower room door while sitting on the sofa. As I was coming out of the kitchen, I asked my roommate if she has found a movie. She was looking at me with a surprised look. Didn't you just walk into the shower room like 30 seconds ago? She asked. I just shook my head and went to sit. The topic died there, and we picked a Malzanian horror movie, comedy movie. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. Movie. Our shower room door whipped open violently, and we heard what sounded like a giggle. My roommate decided that to sleep in my room that night. That was the last time we watched anything related to ghosts. Since then, I often hear furniture being moved, giggles, and saw shadows moving in my peripherals. But when I turned to look, there was nothing. Sometimes even when my roommate is home, she also has experienced some spooky stuff in the apartment. Like her being tapped by something while she was in the kitchen, hearing my voice calling her name. When I was not home, a shadow running from the kitchen to the shower room while she was watching TV in the living room. We stayed there for a few more months until my roommate quit her job and moved back to her hometown, and I decided to move in with another colleague. The new house was much larger. It was a 3-story house. I stopped recording ghost stories for a while after that. Even though I love ghost stories, I do not particularly like experience one. It encouraged the recorder again. Courage to record another ghost. I had the courage to record another ghost story. It was not a very good idea. I will post about that one soon. And if you are wondering why I am sharing this story now, apparently even after I stopped recording ghost stories, I still encounter supernatural activity, so I might as well share it anyways. And that diagram that he was talking about, I think it was a he, is like this. So they were talking about the kitchen, or like the shower, which you can see the shower from the living room. I can have you look. That's what they were talking about. Okay, so let me see if I can find another one. That was a very long one. There's one that says paranormal pin. Okay, this one is good. This might be, depending on, this one's short, so I might be able to read another one after this before I have to leave. My closet door is open, so I'm starting to get freaked out. Okay. I lived in a haunted house. I used to live with my mom and her ex-boyfriend in a really big house. It was around 6,000 square feet, and it gave me bad vibes from the start. Whenever I voiced it to my mom and her ex, they would just brush it off and tell me that I was just imagining things. I hate when people do that. I'm like, no, I saw this. was traveling and going places while I had to stay behind because of my job, I was okay with this. I enjoyed being alone. I was around 19, and after my friends had left for the night, I did my nightly rounds through the house. I would always check to make sure all the doors were locked and the lights were all off. Once I made sure that all of that, I went to my bathroom to get ready for bed. My bedroom was the only one on the main floor. It was a 4-bedroom house, meaning there were 3 upstairs, one being directly over my mom, and this is very confusing, over my room and bathroom. My room and bathroom are separated by a small hallway, which can be closed off by a sliding door, meaning there was a door to my bedroom and then to my bathroom, which I always left open because I could close off my little hallway. I think this is where it starts to get weird. I started washing my face. As I doing so, I hear what sounds like footsteps directly behind me. I freeze in place and listen. They stop. I shrug it off and continue. It's late. I'm just hearing things and going back to washing my face. Then it happens again, this time a little louder. Again, I freeze. I know I'm not hearing things, but what can I do? ? They stopped. I went back to washing my face. This is already freaking me out. And I'm filming at like 7 o'clock at night, but there's still light outside. Then it happened again. I stopped again, and then I hear and feel one of the loudest bangs I've ever heard in my life. Imagine a 400-pound person jumping off a bed onto the ground. That's what I heard. I felt the rumble. If that wasn't enough, right after that, my bedroom door slammed shut. I'm freaking out at this point and run into my room and grab my machete, looking into my closet door because I'm freaked out. Grab I'm trying to remember where I was. My machete. Give me 1 second so I can close my door. Because I'm free. Not cutting out anything in this video. Okay, that's better. My boyfriend's being loud too, so I apologize. Okay, thinking someone is in my house. I then run into the kitchen yelling, whoever's in my house, I will fucking kill you. We cussing in this. Whoever's in my house, I will fucking kill you. I still have soap dripping down my face onto the ground. Seeing that all the doors are still locked, I run back into my bedroom to rinse my face off quickly. I pack up my bag and call my best friend. I tell him what's happening and he tells me to get the fuck out of there. So I keep him on the phone as I finish packing up my bag and get outside of my car. As I'm pulling out the driveway, I notice something upstairs. Every single light is turned on. I know for a fact they weren't on 20 minutes ago. Before, when I checked everything, I didn't even think twice. I just kept reversing and didn't look back at the house. I've seen enough scary movies to know that there would have been a figure in the windows staring at me. I went back the next day to see if someone did actually break in. There was no sign of forced entry, and the doors were still locked and nothing had been missing. All of the upstairs lights had also been turned off. Fast forward to 6 months and we moved out. My mom then tells me that the house was turned into a hospice after the original owner from the 1930s was widowed and got lonely. She turned the house into a place for those with no family to die peacefully and not alone. I lived in an old house that used to be a hospice. Consensually, it was haunted. LOL. Okay. The comment of this, holy shit, that sounded terrifying, was that the only experience there. And they were like, no. Okay, let's see what else I can find. I'll read one more. Oh, this one seems kind of messed up. Let's see how far okay. Paranormal experience with a girl who committed suicide who I never met. Okay, here we go. My ex-boyfriend's best friend girlfriend killed herself. I never knew her in real life. She also dated my ex-boyfriend years before dating his best friend, but she killed herself while she was dating his friend. Okay. They hated her. They said she deserved to die and that she was unstable and constantly wanted to kill herself. I'm not including any specific names for obvious reasons. Give me 1 second. My boyfriend is being loud. His ass is still gonna be really loud. You shush too. Okay. Back. She had a horrible relationship with my ex's best friend. They broke up a week before she hung herself. I'm not condoning suicide. Do not do it. It doesn't help. She apparently was friends with drug addicts and other mental ill people when it happened. She was also apparently super into witchcraft. She broke a scrying mirror and then had a sleep paralysis dream of a demon going into her closet, the one she hung herself in less than 2 weeks prior to killing herself. That's creepy. At the scene, her jacket was torn to shreds in her car and $3,000 cash. She was a waitress, missing from her apartment. The guy that found her dead body hanging from the doorknob posted "Wish things were different" on Facebook and left it at that. He was never investigated and never talks about it. Still, the police wrote it off as a suicide because she had previous attempts. All this happened a year prior to me dating my ex. My ex was horribly abusive, most emotionally, but many times he'd kill me or cut me with a knife or whatever. Many times told me he'd kill me or cut me with a knife, or whatever. He tried to choke me out a couple times. I never knew this until after I dated him, but he'd tell others I was going to end up just like the girl and that he wanted to turn me into her. Really fucked up, twisted shit. I also later learned he was a rapist. I'm glad you got out of there. Going into further details with other relationships would make this way too long though. So to kind of sum it up, while this abusive was happening, while I was trying to get out of the relationship, I started having dreams of this girl that killed herself almost consistently. I never met her. I really only heard a couple stories about her and her stories here and there of her, and seen some pictures. In this dream, she told me I wasn't alone and that I was going to be okay, and I needed to leave before my ex even started to become abusive. One dream in particular stuck out to me. She sat down at a restaurant with me and we had a conversation. I don't remember exactly what she had said, but immediately after I woke up, for a second I thought I had actually spoken to her because it was so real. I've had dreams like that. These dreams continued for a long time and then abruptly stopped as soon as I moved out of my boyfriend's house and finally broke up with him. These dreams were the most surreal and personal to me, but a lot of other bizarre stuff happened too. I would hang out with my ex-boyfriend and his best friend a lot at his house. The best friend had her stuff in his attic, and multiple times when we'd come over, we'd hear footsteps coming from the attic, but I was sorry, I'm thinking I'm hearing things. We'd come over and hear footsteps from the attic, but I was the only person that seemed fazed by that. The first time they brought her up, we were sitting in she was brought up, but nothing felt as weird and real as the dreams I had. Feel free to ask questions because it's hard to explain all that happened in the course of 3 years in short paragraphs, lol. But I need input. Could these dreams have been my subconscious telling me I'm not safe? Was she trying to reach out to me because she knew what dating that awful ex was like? Was she murdered and trying to get justice? This whole thing hasn't sat well for me for years now, and I felt that I will never, ever get the closure I want, even though I literally never met her. Disclaimer, I'm sorry if you've already seen this post. I tried to post it somewhere else and it got removed last night for some reason. Well, those were not as scary as I wanted to make them, but still, they were scary. But that's gonna be it for now. If you guys know of any other scary stories that you would like me to read, you can comment it in the description, and I will read your story if you have any scary stories. So I will see you guys next time, and I hope you have a great day, night, evening, whatever it is, and I will see you on my